today with Victoria Sears,
Hello,
a good friend of
yes.
mine. And Victoria, by vocation, is an attorney.
Yes.
And by avocation, she studies healthy eating, and she strives to be plant-based in
Correct.
her approach to her meals.
Yes.
So Victoria, tell me a little bit about what plant-based means.
So plant-based is no animal protein or a derivative of an animal in any kind. But plant-based also tends to mean no refined oils of any kind. So the distinction between veganism and plant-based is vegans are typically very concerned about the ethical reasons that someone would not eat meat or a derivative of meat, dairy. Plant-based typically are more focused on health. I got involved in this because my mother had dementia, and I had read a book about dementia, and the solution is called the Alzheimer's solution, and as a result of that, started really striving to be plant-based. So I would say I'm about 90%, 95% plant-based. Every now and then I do incorporate fish into my diet.
Awesome. Thank you
Yes.
for sharing that.
Certainly.
And I'll say from my perspective is that I'm just an average eater, but I have learned so much from Victoria just chatting with her. And I think anybody, even if you're not a plant-based eater, you can learn so much by just incorporating a few recipes into your diet and maybe be able to take some recipes and make them a little bit healthier just because you have this knowledge.
I agree.
So
Yes.
here we go. What are
Let's
we
do it.
making today?
So we're going to start off with some dumplings. And the
Okay.
dumplings are going to be plant-based, or at least vegan, because they do have a bit of oil. They have sesame oil in it. And we're going to start off with a chunky dumpling salsa. So it starts off with, first we're going to add 3 tablespoons of spring onions.
This is beautiful, this collection. I can't wait to see
We're
this
doing
all
so
together.
much today. I had to pre-chop some stuff.
Lots of pretty colors.
3 tablespoons of coriander or cilantro.
Okay.
And then we're gonna do 1 tablespoon of garlic. Here we go. And we're gonna do half a tablespoon of ginger. It's already minced up. So these are really interesting. These are little drots, they call them. They actually come already minced and frozen.
Oh,
So they're
didn't know
amazing.
that was a product.
It's so amazing. It saves so much time. So
okay, so we got the salsa made, and now we're calling them Victoria's Vegan Dumplings. Because like many recipes, she's taking a recipe that did call for pork and called for shrimp.
Yes.
And she has totally turned it around, and you're using this product.
Yes, and unfortunately I tore into it.
That's all right.
This
Called
is
Beyond Sausage.
Mhm.
And it's a plant-based sausage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I think the primary ingredient, oops, we lost one, is pea
Sausage.
protein. So a lot of people are so afraid of vegan meats or plant-based meats, and they really don't need to be because it's nothing more than peas. And so they get all worried that it's something weird or strange and they don't want to taste it. It's peas.
Just
And
peas.
peas are very high in protein.
They are.
So-
That's actually my shake when I work out is a pea protein. That
Really?
I use every day I work out. I'm
See?
drinking pea protein.
You're on your way then, right? So these do come in a casing,
Okay.
and so we're going to split them, and then we're just going to take the casing off. This one actually doesn't want to come off, so
Would you like me to do that on another
yeah,
one?
maybe you can help me peel the casing
Yeah.
off. This is actually soft enough that the casing is so thin that you don't really taste it. They come off a little better when they're colder. But anyway, either way, you can just
Yeah, I can hardly even find the
yeah,
casing
if you
on
can't
this
find the casing, and it is a plant-based casing, it's not a true
Oh, okay.
So we're gonna do all 4 of
Don't
these
worry about
links, and we may not be worrying about the casing.
You know, I
It's
think
so much easier.
it's just so thin.
Yeah, we're just gonna crumble it up.
Okay.
So all we're
crumble it
gonna
up.
do is we're crumbling it up and sticking it in the bowl. And this is our pork substitute. So it does call for shrimp and pork. We're not gonna do the shrimp, obviously, and we're gonna do the pork. And instead of shrimp, I have added mushrooms to the recipe.
Ooh.
Mushrooms are
Yeah.
surprisingly meaty. They have a very meaty texture to them. Particularly, oh, you need to do that, your hands are greasy. They're surprisingly meaty because they are spongy. So they really do give us a good substitute.
They're a good substitute
Yes, so
texturally then.
They
is what you're
absolutely
saying.
are.
Okay.
So what I used, and I went ahead and did this because it had to be hydrated and squeezed and the stems removed. It's a process. So, but these are like dried shiitake mushrooms. And this is like a package I have that I didn't use.
Shiitake are really, really good for you.
They are, and they
It's one of the
also
best.
are super like flavorful. Like you can actually taste these mushrooms that I've diced up, and they have a real earthy, yummy flavor
Wow.
to them. So the dried mushrooms are way more flavorful than regular mushrooms.
Oh, interesting.
Way
Okay.
more. Yeah, I mean they're
I-
very woody and earthy, and they add so much flavor.
Oh.
So we've got our
good to know.
plant-based meat in here,
Okay.
and then we're gonna add our ginger. And again, I cheated.
Right there.
Great, I cheated and used our
the pods.
frozen pods. One pod is 1 teaspoon, so
Okay, 2 teaspoons.
we did that.
in.
Okay, and then we're gonna add the salt. And I did not pre-measure the salt, and the salt is here we go.
Yeah.
And then
And you're using a pink salt.
I
Like
am.
that.
I just think Himalayan salt is much better for
Yeah.
you than a traditional salt. And then we have pepper, and we're gonna do half a teaspoon of the pepper.
All right.
And
That's half a teaspoon right
we're gonna add the soy sauce, which we pre-measured. Let's see how much. We're putting in 3 tablespoons.
there. Okay.
And then we're gonna just mix that up, maybe with a spatula. I don't know if you wanna do
I
that
can
while I
do
kind of figure out what we're doing next.
So you can kind of see what this looks like.
Kind of
Mixes.
turns sticky paste almost.
Yeah, but it mixes very easily.
It's very soft, yeah. All right, you are, God, you got this. This is wonderful. Can you come help me in the kitchen all the time?
It's so fun to cook with somebody.
I know, it is, totally. All right, so gosh, it's one of my favorite ingredients. It just smells so good, it tastes so good.
Oh, I love sesame
Oh
oil.
my gosh.
Yeah. I use it a
Love
lot
it.
just on my salad.
So we're gonna put the sesame oil in, and I've already like diced really finely the green onions, and we're gonna put those in.
The green onion.
And I'm going to add the mushrooms that we've already hydrated and diced, and always take the stems out of the shiitake dried, so they're terribly woody and horrible. And then I'm gonna add a little chopped cilantro. Okay, and we're gonna mix all that up, and that's our filling.
Yeah.
Oh, it smells so good. Can you smell that sesame?
Yes.
I love it.
Smells amazing. It's just so fresh smelling.
Love this.
And this is so healthy because you have cabbage, which is a cruciferous vegetable. We're all supposed to have cruciferous vegetables in our diet as much as possible. And then basically you have peas that taste like sausage.
There you go.
So how could you
You
get
will
any
not
bit
miss the
healthier than that?
And we have a couple husbands here who are going to taste our dumplings,
They
and
are.
they're big meat eaters. So
Oh,
let's see if
man.
we pass the
I'm
test, right?
telling you. When Barry and I got married, the vegetable on the table were pickles. That was the green vegetable.
He's progressed, I
Yeah,
bet.
he's
with
come
your-
a long way. He's come a long way. But there
That's so
there
funny.
was a time of struggle in there.
I hear you. Well, mine was a big hunter, and so we actually live on a ranch with deer and longhorn, and here I am, a vegan, and so it's been interesting. But he actually will now eat a lot of what I eat, and every now and then he's got to have his meat, but he's coming along
Yeah.
too.
Well, and I think that's a really good point because you don't have to necessarily adopt something like this full time. You can say maybe, okay, 1 day a week. I used to actually, when we were raising our kids, I did I called it vegetarian, I don't know what it was, on Mondays. And
Oh,
so
great.
we had beans and greens, called it beans and greens.
I love that.
And that's how
So we've been working really hard, and we have made all of our dumplings. They're not super pretty because I'm still new at this, but anyway, we actually have a bamboo steamer, which is layered, and you ultimately put the lid on top, and we're going to steam these dumplings. But we've lined them with Napa cabbage leaves. So if you don't have Napa cabbage leaves, you can use parchment paper, but I had them, so that's what we're using. So we're going to layer them, and I have to get this ring just right. side, okay? And then I have a wok back here that I filled with water, just enough to where it's not going to saturate the dumplings, but I'm gonna turn it on high, and I'm gonna cook these dumplings for approximately 10 minutes, and they should be ready to go in about 10 minutes. So here they go. We're gonna set them here so the water's not touching them, and put the lid on. And turn our fire to high, and our timer to 10 minutes. So we steamed our dumplings for about 10 minutes, and they look ready. You can see how they've changed colors. The dough's kind of gotten glassy. And so
Thank you, Victoria.
Oh, you're so welcome. I had so much fun with
It was
you.
so much
great.
fun. And we have a tradition at Texicurians. Once we cook together, then you are a Texicurian.